something worth any $1,000,000.
Oh, shucks. There's more than 1,000, I betcha.
But how can we take it with us?
Hey, stop what you're doing. Stop the presses. It's a new episode of The Familiars. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. My name's Joby. I'm the DM, Dungeon Master, Game Master, if you will. And we got a very special episode for you today. It's a special one-shot edition of The Familiars. And we've got a very special guest. Before we get into what's going to happen in the session and all that role-playing, dice rolling, combat, maybe, who knows? I want to introduce our cast. First, without further ado, we got Max Gordon Moore coming in, playing some Dungeons & Dragons. Our good friend playing Brick. He's going to be a halfling.
Max Gordon Moore.
He's going to play a halfling druid. Oh, we've got Austin Durant. He's playing Minus, a dwarf fighter. And we've got Zach Appleman playing Justin, half-elf ranger. Today, y'all, this is The Familiars. Thank you, Max, so much for coming in, hanging with us.
So excited.
Doing our role-playing thing. We're gonna be we're still in the Sword Coast, everybody. We're still in the same universe, but we're taking it back a little bit. You'll notice that Zach Appleman is still playing Justin, and we're gonna see what happens when we roll that clock back about 10 years from when our campaign official started. This is before the Dragon Wars. So I'll get into a recap real quick. But before I do, just if you're watching, thank you so much for being here. Give us that like, give us that subscribe. Give us the like either with a button push or just, by telling us. We're all very fragile artists.
Just send us money. Send us money.
Send us money. You can check us out on Patreon to send us money. And check out our YouTube channel. We're putting up more content, especially when it comes to helping you plan your games out. So check that stuff out. TikTok, you know the deal. Merch, check out these cool hats, sweatshirts, totes, bags of holdings. Awesome. Okay. All right. So that's out of the way. Let's figure out what the heck we're doing, shall we? I think we shall. So, right now, we are in the city of Everland. This is in the Silver Marches, north of where our current campaign is taking place, north of the High Forest. And our adventuring party has been tasked by one Krowen Valharrow to find a very powerful magical item. Your adventuring career thus far, the three of you, has landed you in this stately, pitched roof city. Everland is the mercantile capital of the North. And after asking around for work, Brick and Minus, you found yourself in front of Geston, who had some very specific adventuring work to offer you. The three of you are now in a place called Moon Gleam Tower, and this is a keep of black stone that is actually like 4 towers nestled into each other, rising towards the clouds. And on the top of it, you can see this large crescent moon signal that people say lights up at night at times that, are beyond their comprehension as to why it would be lit up. It's the tallest building in the city, though, so it was easy to find. And you all made your introductions and were ushered in and up to Krowen's chambers. You are now sitting in this large sort of library study. And Krowen Valharrow is sitting behind a large ornate desk. The first thing you notice in the room is that there are multiple tressum just lazing about. Tressum are these large, they look like large house cats, but they have these bird wings so that they can fly up to the top of the bookshelves and, continue lazing about there. It's a pretty interesting thing. You can decide whether you've seen them before in your life, but I can tell you that seeing this many of them in one room is a sight to behold. Krowen is hunched over an old tome, and he's an older human. He's got black kinked hair that's sort of beginning to salt and pepper. And as he looks up at you three walking in, you can see that he has these deep brown eyes and a mouth that looks to be sort of thinned by contemplation. He's wearing this cloak that's worn and sort of tattered. And it seems to be patched with these patches that are random objects, like a door and a chest and a candle and things. And there's a staff lying in the corner. It's this sort of tall, stately oak staff, but at the top of it, there's this red gem that seems to be emanating a small wisp of smoke. And as he looks up at you walking in, he says, "Oh, hello. Welcome. Thank you for coming. And Geston, you especially. We have never met, but Geston, your reputation precedes you. I am glad that you seem to have found some companions, because the job that I have to offer is one of unknown danger. There are whispers, rumors abounding through various communities throughout the Sword Coast that there is trouble brewing. We believe that there is the possibility of very powerful beings having an interest in upsetting the delicate balance that is holding our civilized world together. There is a powerful magical artifact that's deep within the high forest to the south of Everland, and I believe through my study to have found that it is buried deep beneath a large oak tree of immense size.
It has been referred to as the grandfather tree. And it is beyond, well, so I've been told, my own imagined comprehension to behold this place. And what I've found is there are many small chambers beneath this grandfather tree, hidden in the exposed roots. And somewhere below, I believe that there is a relic, a ring. It's called the Ring of Winter. It has been, in my estimation, happily lost for, well, time immemorial. But I am concerned that as these rumblings become less than rumors and approach fact, that if this were to fall into the wrong hands, well, our world as we know it would be plunged into endless frozen winter. Justin, I've called you here because I know that you have the high forest and its well-being as a utmost priority, and that is the only reason that I feel that I can trust you. And I hope that the two folks that you've brought along will understand the gravity of the situation. I have determined the best possible route to get to the grandfather tree, but Justin, we will need to rely on your navigational skills and knowledge of the high forest to get us there the rest of the way. If you can recover this ring and bring it back to the Moongleam Tower, you will be rewarded mightily.
I can certainly lead them there. I've been there before, but I have to ask you something. You said there's an unknown amount of danger. On my part, that's going to require a known amount of coin.
Yes.
Tell me up front what this trouble is worth me.
Of course. I understand. Forgive me. We can pay you each 500 gold pieces up front. Upon its successful return, we will pay the same. And I can also offer you the protection of the Harpers in its full strength and entirety of its network throughout the Sword Coast.
I turn back and I look at my two companions and I say, "What do you think?"
Who do we see? Can we just say, as Justin turns around, Brick, who do we see here in the room?
Brick Young Punch is a very short, hirsute, hairy halfling druid. He wears leather armor and a big stick. He comes from the Ghostwise tribe, a very rare and far-off tribe of halflings, from which he learned his druidic training and then left. And he doesn't like to talk about it very much. He's one of the few druids who actually prefers the city, and he's got a bit of a chip on both shoulders. And a speech impediment, which he's very sensitive about. As with all the Ghostwise halflings, he has mastered the art of silent speech, where he sends his thoughts to people so that he can speak to them telepathically, Unfortunately, his speech impediment remains when he sends his thoughts
Fantastic.
to his consternation.
Yes. Fantastic. And then, so, Brick, you had something to say.
Oh, I just say, I think that 500 plus 500 is 1,000. That buys a lot of rations. I think it's worthwhile.
All right. And then Justin
What is
turns
this-
to Minus, and who do we see?
Minus Vakaram is a mountain dwarf, bald with a large white beard. He wields 2 hand axes, and he's clad in leathers that bear the insignia of a sergeant, possibly from the Dragon Wars. Minus was a deserter, though, and is now a soldier of fortune, seeking adventure and coin, and willing to glom on to any party that promises to reward him for his work. He's a ruthless fighter, yeah.
Great.
That's Minus.
All right. So do the 3 of you accept?
Well, I would like to know, Master Krowen, why not keep the ring under the grandfather tree if it has been safe there for so long? Who else seeks this ring?
Make a persuasion check. A 16.
16.
I would prefer to have it remain beneath the grandfather tree myself. However, we believe that as the dragons seem to be stirring, the giants will take advantage. And specifically, the frost giants of the north. I have had intelligence brought to me straight from 10 towns that there seems to be a desire to have the icy tundras of the spine of the world spread throughout. If that were to happen, the frost giants would have strategic advantage over everyone, dragons included. We don't know who they're working with, but if I have found the location of the Ring of Winter, I can only assume that others know its location as well.
Seems to me, Master Krowen, that you have been burying the lead.
Yes,
I ask you this.
Well,
You
yes,
say the Harpers will help us.
yes.
Where can we rendezvous with them?
This is a discreet mission. And he sort of takes a moment, and a Tressim comes up next to him, and he just sort of begins to pet its furry little head. This is a personal matter. I have not yet told the Harpers of my intentions. I have other concerns. This must be secret.
I I say to Minus, there have been rumblings of activity and chaos going on in the Frost Giant Court. I've gotten word of that. I trust Krowen.
Very well.
And then I sneeze really loudly. I say, I'm fucking allergic to Tressums.
Oh, yes, of course.
Is it the fur or the feathers? They're both very,
Yes.
very allergic.
Yes.
You
I'm
know
sorry.
the
I'm
den,
sorry.
So, are we saying that what's the likelihood a frost giant is going to be in the roots of this tree? That's where my brain goes right away.
Excellent question. There have been no sightings of giant activity, to my knowledge, in the northern portions of the High Forest. That is why I feel that it would be an incredibly noticeable thing were there to be the giants themselves just walking willy-nilly into the High Forest.
Giants are one of my favorite enemies as well, so I'll know with quite advanced notice if they're anywhere nearby.
That being said, they must be working with someone. And to who that might be, I'm afraid I can't tell you. Because I don't know.
Aside from giant adjacent enemies, do you have any ideas of this sort of dangers we're going to be meeting in this tree? I mean,
Yes.
I know it's a tree,
Yes.
but are there traps?
Excellent question as well. Justin, you seem to have brought along with you some high-quality adventurers.
They're cautious. I like working with cautious.
Cautious will be good. The High Forest is home to many beasts, folk, and aberrations. The grandfather tree, as Justin knows, is thankfully closer to the edges of the forest than some of the more dangerous beasts who live within. I would say that mostly you could expect creatures of the Fey nature exist between the Feywild plane and our own. Dryads, centaurs,
Bellies.
possibly.
Okay.
They, as a rule, can tend towards good. Parley would not be out of the question. However,
Are they going to be angry with us for coming and getting this ring?
they may.
All right.
And I can say that in my studies, creatures of the Feywild may have the capacity for good. They also have the capacity for being angered quickly.
Very annoying.
Quite.
Just says, Brick, don't worry. Stick by me, you'll be fine. If you're lucky, you might even see a unicorn.
Not scared. Brick Young Punch is not scared. Just like to be well informed of exactly how many fairies we may be seeing in a given moment.
Always prudent information to have. Now, I can say that it's a 3-day hike from Everland to the grandfather tree, so I suggest that if everything's in order, that you get on your way to hopefully you'll get to the grandfather tree, find the way in, retrieve the Ring of Winter, and bring it back, and this will all be just a distant memory. Thank you. Thank you. And he picks up a stone that was on his desk and speaks into it and says, Thank you. You can bring them down. And moments later, the door opens behind you, and two of the attendants that brought you in very cordially, but definitively show you the way out. If there's no more questions, I think time is of the essence. And the three of you pack your things, get your backpacks filled with the equipment that you have in your inventory, and head out. You have thankfully relatively uneventful first 3 days of your journey. The beginning of the High Forest resembles a tranquil forest of pine and cedar and that you would see many other places in the Westwood, Crypt Garden Forest. But as you continue, especially on the second day, there is a almost purplish hue that begins to surround everything you can see. And it's on the end of the second day that you see your first little blue glowing fairy light. Almost like a lantern off in the distance, but as you approach it, just on, you've seen these before, it's just this blue ball of floating flame. Doesn't feel warm to the touch. But as you continue, especially on the third day, it is almost as if a kind of dusk has fallen. And you walk throughout the third day, and as you go, it feels like the sun should be at high noon. But as you look up, it's a magenta, velvet, just purple, with now many of these blue floating orbs of light floating around you. On the fourth day, you travel for the better part of the morning. Everyone go ahead and make a perception check. Let's see what you see.
10.
9. I don't.
Dig.
As you're walking through Justin, you're fairly focused on following the directions of Krowen, which you notice have their mistakes. And luckily, since you were hired, you make notes of where Krowen was off to make sure that he has the correct way towards the grandfather tree. But it means that you have to concentrate more. Brick, you're looking for fairies. You really want to see some, and
I want to see a fairy. These blue balls are very weird.
And when you're looking for one thing, you miss other things. The nature of things, you know? But Minus, you've had your head on a swivel. And you could have sworn that you saw just this glowing female humanoid form off, between the trees. And then see that humanoid form just enter into one of the trees.
You thought the blue balls were bad. Look at her. And I push Justan's map down and point to the figure.
And Justin, as you look up, you see nothing. Brick,
Tell me you got to see a fairy and I didn't.
She just went into and I motioned to where follow me, and I walk towards the opening. Is an opening in a tree, you said?
You walk towards where the tree is, expecting an opening, and find none. You circle the tree.
It was here, I swear. And I start to...
Do I see anything in the tree?
Make an investigation check.
Can I as well?
Absolutely.
9. I'm going to investigate too.
14.
It was here. And I'm tracing my hands
13.
over the bark, looking for some sort of opening. 7.
He says, Brick, what did you see?
Did you see?
Me?
Yeah, you. Oh, I didn't
me.
see anything. I saw nothing. I've been trying to find a fairy this whole time.
I saw a figure, like a woman. She was glowing purple, blue, and she passed into the tree just here. And I'm like pressing my hands on the bark, looking for some sort of opening.
You see
Sounds a
no...
little Dryadish.
You see no signs of entry, of disturbance. There's no buttons, or you start actually like pulling on the sort of twigs and branches just to sort of see if some kind of doorway or passageway would open. Nothing. Brick, make one more perception check for me, buddy.
Right. 22.
Brick, you look around and see in the opposite direction a glowing female form wreathed in leaves.
Guys, there's a glowing... Does she have clothes on? Wreathed
Yes.
leaves. She has leaves on.
And you all look, and as they turn, you see that being pass into another tree. Minus
Okay.
just on, they're gone.
Is this anything that I am familiar with from my time in the High Forest?
Make a history check. It's a low DC, but make a history check just to see. This is young Justin. Justin's still learning, you know?
Yeah, 15.
15. You have never seen anything like this, but the behavior makes you think of dryads. Now, a dryad is a fey creature, one of the ones that Krowen mentioned was a possibility. And you know that they are protectors of the forest. Travelers that enter a forest might catch a glimpse of this feminine form that's flitting through the trees. And they are chaotic. Their loyalty is to the forest. If they take a shining to you, sometimes they can be possessive. And if they get the sense that you are a danger, they have many friends that they seem to be able to call upon at a moment's notice.
I say, the dryads are best to be left alone. Show them that we mean no harm.
Is there any way we can let them know that we're here for heroic purposes?
I turn to Minus.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's a regional pronunciation difference. And I look at his hand axes and I say, lower the axes and certainly don't chop down any of their trees.
Yeah, Minus has unsheathed his axe and was ready to hew his way in, and he stops at that and sheathes his axe and raises his hands to the canopy of the forest and says, "We mean no harm."
Justin takes out his sort of like flask of water that he has, and he sort of symbolically uncaps it and puts a few drops at the base of the tree, which he's he's heard in legend is sort of a symbol to the spirits of the forest that it's like an offering of peace.
Brick is going to talk to Justin and to Minus with the silent speech now, just in case someone's listening. Nice. Which could be a little weird because it just comes right into your head. This is Brick.
Oh, fuck me.
Shh, don't react. I just want to let you know, dryads can also become a little bit possessive. So don't be too charming. Try to be, restrained.
Can you hear our thoughts? Or no?
No, you can't talk to me. I can only talk to you. There's a one-way way to go. You just have to...
Minus starts trying to think back to Brick.
Don't try. Minus, don't try. I can see you. I can see you trying. Just...
He farts. Is that what you said?
Yeah. That's perfect. That's perfect. Don't be very charming. Do exactly what you're doing. Justin, you're going to be a problem. You're very cute. So you really have to tone it down. These dryads can get very, very, intense about people.
And I just nod. I nod at Brick. And I take the map from Justin and say, all right, my turn. And I want to try to find the grandfather tree, and I'm trying to orient myself in the forest. And
go ahead and make a survival check, Minus.
Not very good.
4.
It's this way.
Minus starts walking in the complete wrong direction, Justin.
Minus. Leave it to me. Leave it to me, friend.
You really should let him. We're much lower to the ground. He can see much farther than we can.
Very well. Lead on, Ranger.
Let's continue on our way. And I as we continue on, I sort of look back to see if there's any more activity from the dryads in the trees. Do I see anything?
Perception check, please.
Okay. 23.
You look back and see nothing, but somewhere, faintly off in the distance, you can swear that you hear warm laughter. You make your way.
Do not have to be too charming.
You make your way towards the grandfather tree, and soon, within an hour, through the trees, you can see it. It is a massive 350-foot tall behemoth.
That's a big tree.
And these glowing lights seem to circle around it, up, all the way to the top.
Those are the same blue balls.
Those blue balls
that we saw before.
The DM can spend so much time prepping and planning and completely miss the fact that he has filled his map with a ton of glowing blue balls. But this is what you're looking at.
Blue balls were just a myth that
it
men
fills
created
you with
to frighten women.
with awe. Such stunning awe that strange things happen when we're overtaken like this.
You wake.
The way that everyone deals with it is by focusing on the blue balls. As you approach, you can see that. Get this part up. that around this ancient tree, there are these 2 rings of raised earth. And in the innermost ring, there are 4 relatively normal-sized oak trees growing out of it. And it is here that for all of you, a warm, strange laughter fills the air around you. It seems to surround you, and at first you look around to see where it might be coming from and see nothing, but then you see 4 glowing creatures come out of each of the trees surrounding the grandfather tree, and then stand in a line before you. They look to be 3. Your best guess is maybe elves, but that is where any relation to folk of this plane ceases. They glow with a golden light, and it almost blurs the boundaries of their body. And each of their faces rise up out of this just almost cornucopia of furs and of leaves and twigs, of all of the trappings of the surrounding natural area. And as they emerge, they all, in unison, begin laughing.
Just says, just laugh.
Right. Brick starts to chuckle as well.
Hi. It's a greeting. I think it's a greeting.
They all join in even more. It fills the air even thicker, more thickly around you, and then ceases. And one begins to speak. And as they speak, what you notice is it's almost as if as one says the first word, it is repeated in succession by the other 3. So you hear folk of the non forest. Welcome to the grandfather tree. What is your business here? They look to you, Juston, and say, we sense the elven blood within you. Are you protector, or destroyer?
I kneel down, and in the dirt, I sort of draw this sort of fey runic symbol of the forest, and do that same action with my canteen where I pour a drop of water onto the rune. I say, I'm a friend of this land. And I actually say it in Elvish.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
$19.
One of the dryads approaches you. She kneels down and touches the rune and you see, like, liquid gold light pour out of her finger and fill the rune, which begins to glow. And these tendrils of light begin to spider web out along the ground. And they go underneath each of your feet. And Justin, you see them begin to wrap themselves around your feet and up your ankles and travel up your legs, and now they are like literally coming all the way around, down your arms, wrapping around your neck. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, 4. For what it's worth, I have advantage against being charmed.
Then roll
if that has anything
with
to
advantage.
Do with this. All right. That's part of my Fey ancestry. 14. And magic cannot put me to sleep. That's the other part of it.
Good to know. As these veins of light wrap themselves around your now neck, jaw, skull, and face, they go into your eyes. And it is as if the entire forest around you disappears, and all you see is this dryad's face. She cocks her head to one side and seems to be making some kind of decision. And then you feel these bands of light spiral down. All of you see them
Oh, thank God.
wrap themselves back into the rune as the dryad turns and says, "Sisters, he is one of us. There is no need. Justin is your name, correct?
That's correct.
The forest remembers you, Justin. You are a friend and a protector. We welcome you, welcome you, welcome you, welcome you, welcome you." All the voices come around. And the dryad heads back to the first raised part and looks at you and says, "What business do you have, friends of the high forest, forest? What knowledge do you seek? What succor do you need? What relief must you have?"
I have a question for the DM.
Go ahead.
Do we know the origins of this ring of winter? Who put it there? Who it belongs to?
No.
But is it, as far as we know, it's not a ring that originated from the tree. It's something that was made and hidden and brought there?
That would be a solid guess. Yes.
I guess
I don't think
my
you can roll
question
for
being
it.
like, is this the kind of thing where we would have the sense that if we were finding the ring, we'd be taking it from these people? Like
Cool.
It's their object, like that they created, or that it was something from somewhere else?
I think you don't know. You didn't
You don't
ask
know.
Krowen specifically. I think you have a sense that you don't think you're stealing something, but you don't know.
Yeah. I look to the companions and sort of with a look that sort of says like, do you think we should tell them? Sort of a look.
I'm going to silent speech into Isric. I think we should ask them about the ring. They've already totally violated you with their glowing tentacles. I think we've got them on our side for the most part. They might know where it is, and also where not to go. I think it's worth the risk.
I look to Minus.
I nod to Justin.
We're looking, I say to the dyad, we've heard rumors that frost giants on their way here looking for a powerful ring. A ring that could change the entire climate of this region and destroy the forests with cold and frost and ice. We wish to find it and keep it away from them so that the lands here may continue to flourish.
You seek. The ring of winter.
It's here that all 4 dryads float towards each other. And all speak now in a deep bass unison.
If it is you who seek what the tree protects, you must answer this question. Answer correctly, you will prove to be true friends and protectors. Answer incorrectly, and you will prove otherwise.
It's not math.
But it's not a fucking riddle.
Some are cherished. Some are hated. And even if lost, they remain with you.
And they all become stock still. I'll repeat. Some are cherished, some are hated, and even if lost, they remain with you.
Memories? I'm saying this to Justin and Minus is in their head. It could be memories. I know halflings are generally very good at riddles, but it's not my forte.
That sounds good to me.
If you lose a memory,
I say to Justin, what is a memory?
A memory.
Oh, you're making fun of my
Not a memory.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
I don't know what else it could be. I'm not
Unless
a poet.
you lose a memory, is it stay with you if you lose your memory?
I think that's our best option.
Right.
I think it's a good answer. If not, we can take them.
We get 3 chances. Could we get three chances at it? No. Right.
You met with silence.
At our response of memory there?
Oh,
or
did you guys, is that the official? I didn't know if you guys had rested on that. Yes? Is that just on? Is that what you say?
Yeah. Is it a memory?
Warm laughter fills the air as all 4 dryads begin to applaud and cheer. And then as you look beyond them, you see there are some of the roots of the grandfather tree that begin to move themselves. There's a rumbling sound in the ground. You can feel it beneath your feet as these gargantuan roots, some the size of horses and cattle, begin to almost rip through the ground. And you see an opening, a wooden archway appear. The dryads
well done, Max.
look at you and say, "Well done, Brick."
That was some real halfling shit, as we say on this
that's right.
show.
That's right.
Well
Man,
done.
watch out. That halfling shit gets you crushed by a church.
Yeah. And the dryads all step aside. And the dryad that spoke to you, Justin, looks to you and says, "You are a true friend. If ever you need the assistance of the grandfather tree in the future, you will find friends here. We have withstood changes in the world before and can withstand the changes to come. Thank you, Justin."
Thank you. And does it seem like they're inviting us to go?
Yes.
Like that's where the ring might be?
Yes.
Okay. We appreciate it. And he starts walking in that direction.
Can I ask them a question?
Sure.
My lady of the forest, have any other friends passed this way?
Make a straight charisma check. Just a charisma check.
All right.
If you have higher persuasion, you can add your modifier.
Let me see. No. It's 9.
Dwarf. From the underground. You'll have to see for yourself.
But look, we passed the written. So, are you sure you could tell us anything that we might expect to see there?
Brick, don't push it. Don't push it.
All right.
Brick, go ahead and make a charisma check.
Right. Check. 13.
Another dryad comes to you and says, "We will not give the secrets of others coming to seek aid. Folk come and folk go. If folk come seeking you, we will not tell them, and therefore you will all have to see for yourself. The grandfather tree is the heart of the high forest. It gives protection, restorative, healing, love to many. Many come and many go. If you come as a friend of Justin in the future, you will see that the love of the tree is unending, but its secrets remain so." The 4 dryads now begin to move back towards the trees that were surrounding the grandfather tree, these 4 oaks. And they say, "We hope you find what you are looking for." And
I'm going to start to go in you.
all right.
I'm going to follow.
feel like we're about to see Mr. Burns with his pupils dilated, like that episode.
Totally what I'm doing. Yeah.
I give you love.
I give you love. Totally.
As I have no idea what time it is. It's like purple o'clock.
You guys make your way in, and you climb through this opening made by the giant gnarled roots of the grandfather tree. And a sort of tunnel has been shaped by the root system. It's like thick rope woven together. And as you walk up to the opening, you can see a kind of natural stairway has been formed that leads down into darkness. Who has dark vision?
I do.
Me.
I do.
Fantastic.
Good.
So you guys all begin to move down the steps and click on your dark vision. You can see.
I'm just going to grab onto Justan's. Do you have a cape?
It says a cloak.
Okay, we'll just grab the hem of this cloak. He's like, just tell me if I run into anything. Any roots?
You guys
I see shit downhill.
move down. As Brick, are you saying this out loud, or is this your telepathy?
Saying it out loud. I was too worried. Oh no, it's very dark. Where did all the? Where's a blue ball when you need one?
You guys keep moving down, and finally, you reach the bottom. And as you do, a cold wind blasts through the opening where the tunnel opens into this sort of larger room. As you approached it, you could see that there was some low light coming from whatever was at the bottom of the tunnel. And this wind is freezing. It's almost as if it feels like it's the moment before it snows. And as you make your way down, everyone go ahead and make a perception check.
Oof. 11.
14.
14, 11. Minus Brick.
Wait, did I say that wrong? Yeah, sorry.
You can hear amongst the strangely howling, whipping winds, voices. They are, I'm just making sure, I'm seeing if they're speaking in common. No, they're not. Do either of you speak Sylvan?
No.
Not really.
Druidic, if that makes a difference.
Not this time.
Nah, dang it.
You hear voices that you can detect seem to be arguing, but it's in a language that you don't understand. It's just a beautiful, soft, silvery language. But it's mixed with this almost animalistic hue. I'll say that this is all happening as you're coming down the steps. What would you like to do? Would you like to continue down into the room, stay where you are, or something else?
Can I say silently to Justan, we're hearing some people arguing in the next chamber. I can't tell what they're saying. It's in some language. It's very mellifluous and a little animalistic. But they're there and they're arguing.
Does it seem like we could approach somewhat stealthily, like to the doorway, to try to peek in?
So there's no door, but you can absolutely
sort of,
try to approach. There are, as you've gone down, the sort of tree roots have given way to clay and rock and dirt, and there are little sort of rock crags that you feel like you could, if you were to be quiet enough, make it to and maybe get a sense of what's in the room.
I'd like to try to do that.
Go ahead and make a stealth check. Anybody else who's going with can do the same.
I will go with him and make a stealth check too.
Minus, what kind of armor are you wearing?
I'm wearing chainmail under some leather.
You would know that if you were to try to be stealthy, that you would do it with disadvantage. Rick's got a 22. Okay. Justin's got a 12. Okay.
I'm still holding. Wait, can I see any more? Or is there any more light, or is it still very dark?
As you approach, it's getting lighter and lighter.
Okay, I'll let go of your cloak now that I can see.
Justin, man, what are these rolls, bro? Okay. Great, good. No, it's fine. It's great.
You're trying to figure out how to not kill me.
As you make your way down, you see that there is a combination of both bluish-hued and also golden-hued light. And the other thing you notice is that as you get close, there are actual snowflakes now being blown through this open doorway. And as you make your way, you see that there are two beings in this larger room that the tunnel opens out into. And they are two humanoids, at least from the torso up. But below their torso, they have the bodies of horses. You see two centaurs in deep argument in this room that around its walls seem to be some combination of clay and tree roots. You have descended the stairs to this opening, and it seems that from the opening there are candles, lit candles, that lead towards this chest. Underneath the chest, there's packed snow, and it seems as if the room has been filled with this freezing, snowy wind. The two centaurs, you can see, are shivering cold. Their skin seems sallow, pale. They seem incredibly agitated, paranoid, as they argue. Minus Brick, you make your way towards either side of this opening and can see in undetected. Justin, however, you don't see a little piece of ice that had collected on the stairway that you accidentally kick. And as you do, the two centaurs turn to you. What do you do?
I kneel down and I say to them in common. I believe centaurs speak common.
They do not, but they do speak Elvish.
Okay. Then I speak to them in Elvish, and I say, "Greetings, guardians of the Ring of Everwinter. We've been granted passage down into this chamber by the Lady Dryads above. Great danger is coming after this ring, and we wish to aid you in protecting it."
One turns to you and in Elvish says,
"You come to seek the Ring of Winter. It is not here.
Where is it?
Been taken."
the other one looks at the other centaur and says,
"They know of the ring. They know of the ring. It must be them who've taken it. It is them who've taken it."
the other turns back to you and says,
"What do you know of the ring, half-elf? How do you know of its location?"
We were sent here by the great wizard Krowen Valharrow. There's rumors that the frost giants themselves are coming after this ring. They want to create a never-ending winter. Hence the name Everwinter. This would be the greatest tool for them to cause this destructive calamity. We want to keep the ring from them.
"We know of the ring's power. And we know that it is being sought. The centaurs want it for themselves. We would be the true keepers, the true protectors of such a powerful item. But there is a sickness that has taken over our people. We came to the grandfather tree for cure and succor. And we knew that the tree protected something that if we could seek it and take it ourselves, would protect our people for time immemorial. But now we've come and it is gone."
Do I sense that they're telling the truth?
Make an insight check.
Come on, dice. There we go, 18.
You get the sense that they think they are telling the truth. But you see something with this insight check in their eyes. The way that they're speaking to you is out of character of creatures of the Feywild. They seem both to be deeply focused on themselves. They're not lying to you, but it seems like they're lying to themselves about wanting this ring for their people. The other centaur, the one who's not speaking to you, you can see is beginning to white knuckle this long pike, just sort of beginning to sort of twirl it in their fingers. And you just get the sense that there's something off.
I would like to slowly back out of the room so that I'm
Rick
more
and
sort of
Minus,
in
you
that
have not been
passageway.
detected. FYI.
You have not been detected.
You have
I'm
not
going
been detected.
to speak silently to Justin. We've got your back if they start anything, but maybe back out. These horses do not look healthy.
Yeah, so I'm going to slowly back out and say, well, in that case, it's clear the ring is not here. I'll leave you to your conversation. Sorry to trouble you.
The centaur, who is not speaking to you, looks to his compatriot, and in Sylvan begins
to argue for something very intensely. The other one turns with some kind of retort, and the other seems to throw up their hands in frustration and looks to you as you're making your way back and says, "Stop, half-elf. You have not proven to us that you do not know where this is. How did you know of its location? Why do you seek it? And why
I told you, I seek it to keep it safe from the frost giants.
He looks back to his compatriot and just starts yelling in Sylvan what you can only believe. He says something over and over and over again.
This is the one who wasn't speaking, right?
The one who wasn't speaking, the one who wasn't doing the diplomacy. He looks super intent on something. I'm going to give everybody one more thing they can do before the next thing happens. Justin, when you see this, what are you doing?
I'm going to create more distance between myself and them, so I want to go further out into that hallway. I'm going to give you one more. So that... Yep,
you get one more square back towards the doorway. Okay.
Yeah.
Are the centaurs within 20 feet of each other?
The centaurs, I believe... Let me measure it really quickly. They are actually the front of them, I'll say yes, is just within 20 feet of each other.
Do I have time to ask a question and then maybe do something?
100%, of course, yes.
So I'm going to say to Justin and Manus, I can entangle them with vines, and I can do it now. Are we prepared for that?
I'll let you guys answer the question, but I won't let you cast the spell just
Nod
yet.
If you think yes, shake your head if no.
I nod.
Okay, you get 2 nods.
I'm going to cast... sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask if I can see from here on the hands of either of the centaurs whether or not one of them is wearing the ring or a ring.
Make a perception check.
19.
With a 19, in this as time begins to kind of slow down for everyone, you got the message from Brick about the entangle spell. As you kind of gently nod back to him, you reach for your weapons and maybe your shield just to get ready. You can feel the adrenaline begin to build up in your veins. And as you do, your eyesight becomes incredibly focused on their hands, where their hands are. You see no rings. But what you do see is the one that was speaking to Jestan seems to be clutching with a white knuckle grip a collection of pages. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of The Familiars that started out as a one-shot. But guys, I'm going to just cross my fingers that we can get Mr. Max Gordon Moore back to see what happens here below the grandfather tree. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, oh my god.
I'm in love with Brick. The Dryads are in love with Brick. They didn't get a chance to say it, but they are.
I'm in love with Max's riddling skills.
Oh my gosh. Can we just talk about the fact that offering a riddle up is one of the worst things a DM can do, throughout Reddit. It's just don't do a riddle. You'll literally just put a stoplight on the session for 3 hours as everyone tries to figure it out. And boom!
Yeah.
Boom!
Wordle skills.
Wordle skills.
It's all that Wordle.
Yeah. Brush up your Wordle. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in next week. I'm pretty sure that we're going to get back to the original campaign. But we've got some busy working actor buddies, and we're going to either do that or we're going to do more one-shotting. Max, we can't wait to get you back.
Excited.
Until then, y'all, so much fun. Our intent, as always, is all for for your delight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.